his head, pulling him up by his hair, and shoved his head into the toilet, holding it down for at least 5 seconds. Then he pulled his head out of the toilet and asked the victim to tell him who the man was. The victim couldn't speak, Your Honor, and the defendant shoved his head back in the toilet again. This was repeated several more times until there was no longer any body movement from the victim. At this time, Your Honor, the defendant had stated that he knew something was wrong and just left the victim there and ran out of the bathroom. Your Honor, the state would like to add that this was not the first time an incident like this has occurred between the victim and the defendant. This sort of thing has been happening on and off since the beginning of school. We have provided witness that stated that the victim had told them what was going on and that they feared for his life. They have stated that the problem started when the victim would not let the defendant sheet off his paper during a test in class. There were no school authorities involved because of the reputation of the defendant and the fear everyone at school seemed to have for him. No one would come forward to turn him in. We have also talked to the school official, Your Honor, who has told us that the defendant had just returned for alternative school for imperfect behavior. And we have school behavior records showing that this is a pattern for him for the last couple of years. We urge you, Your Honor, to act in the light of all this information, the defendant and sentence the defendant to the fullest degree as possible, allowed by the state of South Carolina.
I have heard the solicitor's presentation of the facts of this case. Sir, do you agree or disagree with these facts?
I do agree with the facts of this case, Your Honor.
Is there anything you would like to add on your behalf at this time, sir, before I pronounce sentence?
Yes, Your Honor, there is. My client has his own story to tell. We don't deny the fact of what happened, or the fact that he did it. He has pled guilty, Your Honor. We would like to ask for your mercy for the court for the following reasons. Your Honor, since he was little, my client has been exposed to a home filled with domestic violence and abuse. He has been verbally abused by both his dad and his mom's boyfriend since a young age. During his school years, Your Honor, this young man was bullied repeatedly, and the only advice he got from his father was to toughen up and don't be a coward. The rage he felt at being unable to stop the violence in his own home, as well as bullying he suffered himself, has led us to where we are today. As he got older, he found a way to release the pent-up rage by becoming a bully himself. He found a way to defend himself against the violence he witnessed, Your Honor, by becoming violent himself. He became the bully. The bullying had led to the death of the young man, Mr. James Thomas Grove, and that is why we are here today. Once again, we do not excuse his actions, Your Honor, but we do feel that an explanation is necessary before you make final judgment. Having said this, we throw ourselves on the mercy of the court.
Mrs. Solicitor, I have clearly heard the facts of this case from you, just as I have now heard the explanation from the defendant's lawyer as to the root causes of the issues at hand. From what I have determined, we have a case of extreme bullying here that has unfortunately led to the death of another individual. In this state, the term we use for this is murder. To the victim's family, I would say that I'm terribly sorry for your loss, and this state will do what is within our power to see that justice is done. To the defendant, I would say, young man, I have heard the story of your life and the tragedies you have seen in it already, which have been many. You are unfortunately not the first person who has come before me with such a story, and sadly, I'm sure you won't be the last. I feel for you, son, as I do completely understand the connection that domestic violence plays with bullying and bullying with domestic violence and all the ripple effects it has on every aspect of a person's life. While I understand the circumstances surrounding this case, as well as your personal history, this has to stop somewhere. I hereby sentence you, Mr. Jason Cameron Vernon, to 10 years in prison.
No, not my son.
You are now remanded to the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
sorry. What the hell's the matter with you?
My son was just sentenced to prison.
Get over it. Hey, I didn't think a wimp would do anything like that. You know what I mean? He better be careful in prison, because he ain't exactly a strong man, you know what I mean?
I know you must be hungry. The trial took longer than what I expected. I'll go get you something to eat.
Yeah, how about doing that? Why, get you something.
Hello, Casa. My daughter's in an abusive relationship. My son just got sentenced to prison, and I am in fear of danger for my life. Can you please help me?
As we've illustrated, domestic violence and abuse is a vicious, vicious cycle. Our speakers today illustrated that, and I hope that we convey that message loud and clearly with our presentation tonight. I want to introduce all of our players. We had Patty Knupp, we had Chuck Knupp, we had Andrew Knupp, come on out, Chris Scott, Michael Forte, Mr. Hawkins, David Collum, and Robin Hall, and Maurice Moultrie. I want to thank everybody for coming. Also, especially want to thank Phi Theta Kappa. This actually was a project for our Honors in Action project that we do, and we're trying to tie in domestic violence in the home, which leads to bullying, which leads to domestic violence as an adult, so it just keeps repeating the cycle. And as we heard, all of these things are related. So if we stop the violence at the house, we stop the violence at the other person's house later on. So with everybody working together, hopefully we will accomplish that. I appreciate everybody coming tonight. I want to remind you that next Thursday is going to be super awesome night. Tanya Brown, the sister of Nicole Brown Simpson, who was OJ's wife, she's coming to speak. We're going to have an awesome dinner. Like dinner. This was like kind of heavy order. Next week's going to be dinner, people. So if you want to eat, I encourage you to get here at 6, and it's going to be packed in here. It's a student engagement hour, so get here early and grab you a seat. She's going to be our guest for the entire 2 hours next week, and I'm very, very excited. And if anyone can convey that message of how serious this problem is, I think she'll be able to do that. In addition to Aaron, thanks to Aaron again.
Casa. Thank you for your work and keep up with your